Okay, so we did some of the types of some of the sentence correction questions in the last videos. Now we are going to look at the questions related to parallel construction, and as the name suggests, it's about parallel. And what it means now, it means that whenever we are using comma or we are making a sentence, then it should be parallel in its form, in its action, in its tone. So all the forms that we are using in the sentence should be parallel and should be in the same direction. So when we are talking about future, that I want to do this thing tomorrow, with this I want to do this, and I suddenly talk about the past, then somebody is say that why are you using it with that sentence? This was a list of what you are going to do tomorrow, and you just added that you were not able to do this thing or something like that. So it's about clarity in the language. Now let's look at an example which talks about a poll that happened. Okay, so let's read this. In a recent survey, the Gallup poll, so this is a recent survey, discovered that the average American speaks 1.3 languages, buy a new car every 5.2 years, drinks 14 gallons of alcoholic beverage every year, and forgot to pay at least one bill per quarter. Now you can see in the sentence that it's talking about something which goes on, like they speaks 1.3 languages, buys a car, drinks. So and forgot to pay, it should be and forgets to pay, because forgot to pay at least one bill in the per quarter is not taking things continuous in the way in which other forms are used. Okay, so whenever we are talking about commas and things which are placed in parallel, they should be in the same form and they should mean the same thing. Now it means that every American like forgets to play or pay his bill every quarter. So this is what the survey means, and the forgot to pay at least one bill per quarter is going totally in the wrong direction. So we need to have everything in the same direction, and it should be parallel. It should, if we are talking about like they are not every American does this, and they used to do this. So how is the thing they used to do this or anything wild can be used with the comma? So when we are talking about some things which are placed close to each other with the use of comma, they should be in the same form. Okay, so let's look at some of the options and find out what were the problems they were having. So in the stem sentence, we did not like and forget to pay. So of course this is not the way. Drinks 14 gallons of alcoholic beverage every year and forgets to pay at least one bill per quarter. Let's keep this for a while. Can drink 14 gallons of beverage every quarter and forgot to pay. Can drink, we are changing the meaning. It means that they don't drink, but they can drink. Now is this what we are talking about? No, we are changing the meaning. Okay, let's look at option D. Drinks 14 gallons of alcoholic beverage a year and forgets at least to pay 1 year. Now at least, we are not talking about at least, we are talking about in general they forgot to pay at least one bill. So forget at least to pay one bill is actually going in the very wrong direction, and it makes no sense. Okay, let's look at the last one. So drank 14 gallons of average per year and forgets to pay at least. Here the second part is right, but drank is again changing the meaning. Now in the exam you will not see these things in the different shades, so you have to be very careful to pick out which words are changed in every sentence. So okay, so you have to be vigilant and alert to find out if something is changed and how that change is going on. So this is an example of a survey which gave something which goes on. So and forgot to pay at least is not parallel with all other examples which we can see. So this is the question of parallelism. Now in the GMAT, the questions might use parallelism plus some other. So they'll have a mix of various things which would actually make things easy for you, because and when they are trying to make it more complex, it becomes actually more simpler. The more simpler they try to make it with a couple of words being required to change, then it's more tough and it requires more knowledge about grammar. But when the underlying things are like large and a huge list is in front of us, then things are very easy for us. So this was like the case of misplaced modifier, parallelism, where we would like to have things after the comma to be like in the same direction. Let's look at the tense, and we have the 5 types of tense which is being used by the GMAT. The first is the present, then the simple past, present perfect, past perfect, and future. We are going to look at them in details, but let's look at how these tenses matter. Okay, let's look at an example to understand something weird being used. So when he was younger, he walked 3 miles every day and he had lifted weights also. Okay, so it's not going right. He had lifted weight also. So let's look at the right one. When he was younger, he walked 3 miles and lifted weights and weights too. So there is an S missing here. That's a typing mistake. So has is not the thing. Let's look at a simple example to understand what are tense errors in the GMAT. So a doctor at Amsterdam clinic maintains that if children eat children eat a diet high in vitamins and took vitamin supplements, they will be less likely to catch. So there are 2 errors. So will be is taking the things into the future, whether what he's talking about is the present, and took is taking the things towards the past. So 2 errors. So if they like eat good vegetables, take good vitamins, then they are not going to have anything, any of the common cold or other issues with them. Okay, so here is an unnecessary and a weird took vitamins which is introduced here. What he means that if they do it all the time, they are never going to have this problem. So it's not like we are talking about the past that they used to take or something like that. We are trying to say that if you eat a high diet, take vitamins, then there is going to be no problems with you. So took vitamins, supplements, they are less likely to catch. Okay, R is right, but took is again something wrong. Take vitamins, they were less likely to catch, again going in the past tense. Will be is of course a wrong one. So the right one is here, is if they take vitamin supplements, they are less likely to catch common cold. So it makes sense as well that we are talking about something which is like going on, and it's beyond these tenses. Now some of the questions in GMAT have unnecessarily words which make them kind of complex and entangled in these tense cases. So in that case we are going to look at a simpler option which avoid these kind of tense issues. Okay, so this was a very small video on the tense and on the parallelism, and we are going to look at more examples in the upcoming videos. If possible, we'll try to go through the examples of other official publications like Official Guide and understand how they are wrong by very logics which don't fits in, and the explanation really makes sense. So we are going to try to develop that intuition to pick out that something is wrong, why it is wrong, and how can it be repaired. So thank you for watching this video.